What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm here with
Gersh1!
And we're back at it, answering questions from the commenters down below. As long as you put question before your question, because this is another episode of For the Greater WAAAGH.
You kind of just said what I was going to say, so we're just going to skip it for time purposes.
What? Porpoises are in water.
What? This question comes from Absurd Zero, or O. Oh, that's not it. There you go. Sorry, that was the wrong person. Jeremy Blankenship. Yeah. He asks, do you think we'll ever see chapter-specific Primaris Marines, such as Primaris Thunderwolf Cavalry, Wolfen, etc.? Also, the Cornhounds are called Flesh Hounds. Thank you. I forgot. And yes, eventually we will see Primaris specific Space Marines, because we already have Primaris specific, or chapter-specific Primaris Space Marines. We have the Blood Angels, the Dark Angels. Eventually we will get Space Wolves. Eventually we will get, you know, well, those are really the only ones that look different, right?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Other than just like swapping shoulder plates. Mm-hmm. But GW did a really good job of making sure that the Space Marines shoulder plates of the old ones can actually still fit the new ones. Which, cool, I guess.
Do you think we'll see anything like Primaris Sanguinary Guard or Primaris Wolfen, anything along like those lines?
Yeah, eventually. I think that when the models get old enough, then yeah, we'll get them. Not anytime soon, because the Wolfens are like, what?
They came out pretty recent.
Like a year or two ago?
Yeah.
So, eventually, yeah.
What about Primaris vehicles?
Yeah, well, we already have that, right?
Yeah. There's a new Rhino, there's a new Dreadnought.
Yeah. It's so annoying that you can't just use your drop pods or dreadnoughts, or sorry, drop pods or rhinos to transport Primaris. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what the lore thing is behind it either.
We're too cool for that.
Yeah, it's annoying. Next question.
This one is by... I lost it.
I have one from Kelth Uzad. Will we ever get a proper Dawn of War game after the third one? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it didn't do so well in sales, and like gameplay-wise, it was like not it, Chief.
Yeah, the first Dawn of War was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
I found it. This one is by Dan Solo. Can a Tyranid eat the essence of a Necron tier if its necrodermis is damaged enough? Yeah, I don't think so, because like necrodermis, I know that like infects Kroot and kills them. So I would assume that would have similar effects to the Tyranids?
Yes.
So, no. You can break their bodies, but you can't break their spirits.
Yes, exactly. Next question comes from Dennis Hilla. Can Necrons make new Necrons? So they have a finite number of necrodermis.
Necron bodies.
Necron bodies. And they don't have souls, so it's just... protocols, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, when a Necron dies, its soul gets put in another body that's being made by the Tomb World. So
I'm gonna make a 40 facts on necrodermis, because we have one, but it's a short video. I'll make a longer one explaining like what happens to the dead bodies of the Necrons, because necrodermis is just a bunch of little tiny robots. Yeah.
Just like people, we're all little tiny cells and amoebas and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Dragon Punch 903. Do you think we'll ever get more seasons of the Boondocks? No. No,
probably not.
This climate that we're in would not allow the Boondocks to prosper. Maybe, yeah.
There are some Netflix shows that I like that they say things that they get away with, and I'm like, Okay. Next question comes from Kyle Nowak. Which do you think is better, D&D 3.5 or 5th edition? Never played 3.5, only played 5th edition, so we're going to say 5th edition. Next question.
This one's by RD. Do you think that the Tau are advanced because the Earthcast secretly has a functioning STC? Nah. If that was the case, the Imperium, the Adeptus Mechanicus would be all over that. I just think it's just their way of progression. They're naturally inclined to technology, and with the aid of ethereals kind of guiding them, that's their thing.
Yep. Next question comes from Oni. How do you have time to make a video every day? We don't.
No.
Next question.
This one is by Jackman. What are the Trader Primarchs doing at this point in time? Jenga?
Yeah. Right now, I think the only well, there's actually a lot that could come back. I think the next one is Angron though, or Fulgrim.
Because I know Age of Sigmar released some Slanesh models, and if you go back 3 days, I did a video on the future of Slanesh and what it looks like it could be. But I think Slanesh is going to be the next thing to get their own
Primarch.
Well, not Primarch, but just get a whole bunch of like Slanesh themed models. Maybe the next story after Vigilus will focus on Slanesh. So hopefully.
Next question comes from the Posh Boy. If you could have a Primarch as a roommate, who would it be? Lorgar.
Well, I mean, I feel like he's gonna he'd start off by telling you to join his religion, to praise the Emperor, like in his rituals, and living in such close proximity to a person like this will get annoying. But then, as your roommate lives progress, he'll notice that it was all just a false god, and he'll go into a depression, and he'll go just into his little corner and just sulk there for all eternity.
Yeah, so you don't really have to bother with him. And plus, like, I've dealt with people who are fanatical about stuff. It's fun to mess with them. So, yeah. What about you?
Hands down, it would have to be Sanguinius.
How big is his wingspan?
Enough that it'll be a very cramped place. But they'd be like, hey, aren't you the guy that's rooming with an angel? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
That's me. Next question.
Oh, this one's by Thomas Wilson. If Corvus comes back with all of his warped powers, could he be considered a heretic? Nah, because he's a Primarch. And
right.
Like, Corvus Corax is a G.
Yeah.
He actually cares. So.
Next question comes from Daniel Slater. Who would win in a forge-off? Ferrus Manus or Vulcan? Ferrus Manus. He has necrodermis arms. So, yeah. Going back to the whole, like, mini scarab thing, he could just, like, put his hands down and, like, all the little mini scarabs would give him, like, 10 fingers. Next question.
Kyle Nowak. Gersh, what's with the hair?
I've had the same hair for a really long time. What are you talking about? Next question comes from Delix. If there will be female Space Marines, how would you introduce them into the game / lore?
You don't. The Sisters of Battle are the closest things you can get to female Space Marines.
I think he's saying if you would, though.
I wouldn't.
No, but if you would, like if you had to, if GW came up to you and was like, ignore the Flesh Hounds and give us a female sister or female Space Marine line. For me, it would be easy. It's just be like, all right, Lost Primarch is a female. Bam. Because there's 2. And you could always have that one extra one for all the people who created their own fan lore. Like, Celestial Sons. But, yeah, that's how I would do it.
Just put wigs on Space Marines.
Yeah.
Or just be like, they weren't actually all males, they were all females all along.
Yep.
Oh man, I could already hear the keyboards clicking.
Yeah, but it's fun to talk about that stuff because of the keyboard clickers.
There you go, fanatics.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that won't happen. Female Space Marines are, based on the lore, it can't happen.
What's gonna happen? Don't fight representation. # feminism. No, what is that other thing that those people say?
What?
Like the nidinism? Something?
Feminists?
Yeah, there you go. Next question comes from Pineapple. Could Yarrick get a blessing from Gork and Mork? Or however you the orc gods' names?
I'll spell the orc gods' names. Gorku Morku. It's basically orc with a G and an M in front
Yeah.
of it. No. Yarick's not an orc.
Yeah, they're not real. Like, they are real, but they're not real.
Like, real represent real.
Like, it's a gestalt. It's not gestalt. It's like something from them being combined together. So it influences other orcs because of their biology. Yorick is not of the biology of the fungus. So.
Word. This one is by DS. If Fabius Bio is so good at biology, why hasn't he engineered himself some Rogaine?
Because it's not part of his priority, you know?
It's like, why give myself luscious hair when I could give myself combat drugs?
Yeah, that's actually a good point, yeah.
Oh, you think my hair sucks?
Yes.
Hold on, wrong vein.
Yeah. Next question comes from RD. Do you think that the Tau are advanced because the Earthcast secretly has a functioning STC?
Boy, we already did that one.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said no, because they're just technologically
gifted,
and they got the ethereals pushing them.
Ah, okay. Next question then.
This one is by
Geoprime 1?
Kyle Nowak.
Oh.
Do you think that Skaven should be added to 40K?
No. Because...
We got smelt rats.
Yeah, that too. I was going to say because Christopher Shrimplin said, no Skaven love.
Okay. That contradicts it.
Yeah. No, I don't really think that Skaven should be part of 40K. They're good as a fantasy thing with like their whole Rat King and stuff.
Rat King.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, like the Rat God. But in 40K, I think like if anything, it should be a muskrat race of just a bunch of muskrats, which are very similar to rats, but they're like more friendly looking.
I feel like instead of like Skaven and rats, it should be like Scave out, and they should be called mice.
No, if a rat goes outside, it's
right. It's playing on the thing. Because Scave in are rats.
Ah.
So Scave out should be mice.
Yeah, I guess. Next question comes from Geoprime 1. Are Chaos Space Marines overall more empathetic than loyalists, since they're not necessarily tied to the Codex Astartes, and because Chaos Space Marines are more emotional?
In a way, yes.
But in another way, no, because they're all about power and stepping on someone's face in order to progress to the next level.
Unless you're stepping on someone's face so you can carve your name into his heart.
Yeah, then it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But those were the questions for this Greater Wall. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. Don't forget we have a Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys. And thanks for participating, guys.
Don't forget that if your blue pill makes you last more than 4 hours, contact your nearest Fabius Bio.
This is Gershwan.
The Sound Alchemist, and we are out.